Welcome to this new lecture where we are going to talk about exchanges, and I will show you exactly what it is and what it can do for you. Here's the basic idea of an exchange. According to the Oxford Living Dictionaries, it's an act of giving one thing and receiving another in return, especially of the same kind. If you put it into another phrase, it's like put in a currency and receive another currency back, with the same value at the time of the trade, of course. Or if we put it into another term, is put in Ether and receive, for example, tokens back. The price is purely made of demand and supply. And here's a very, very simple example. Bob says to Joe, you know what? I want 10 Ether. I know you have them. I could offer you $1,000 for that. So that's $100 each. But Joe says to Bob, you know what? Well, I really want to sell you my 10 Ether, but $100 each is not enough. I want $110 each. Now, Bob and Joe just made a market. And the Ether price on this market is 110 US dollars. The demand or the bid price is $100 each. The supply or the ask price is $110 each. This is the difference between the highest bid and the lowest ask is $10. Here's everything about limit orders and market orders that you have to know. Bob and Joe both posted a limit order. Bob wants to buy 10 Ether for $100 and Joe wants to sell 10 Ether for $110. Now both orders are not executed because for Joe there is nobody who wants to buy it for $110 and for Bob there is nobody who wants to sell it for $100. Now these orders are stored in a limit book and both Bob and Joe are market makers. Now Bob says, you know what, I really want to have some of your Ether. Give me 5 of your Ether, no matter how much you want. Bob now buys 5 Ether for 110 each from Joe. And that's a market order. It's executed immediately to the market price. The volume is the volume that gets bought. In this case, Bob buys 10 Ether or Bob buys 5 Ether. And if he buys 10 Ether, then the volume is 10 Ether. The tick data is every single trade. And in contrast, on most exchanges, you will see something like a candlestick chart, or also called OHLC chart, which stands for open, high, low, close. And this chart summarizes data from several trades. And it summarizes this, for example, in 5 minutes. And if you have like a 5-minute chart or a 30-minute chart, a 2-hour chart, then the OHLC chart will show you the first trade, which is the open, the highest trade, which is the high, the lowest trade, which is the low, and the last trade, which is the last trade made in this time interval. Here's what you should take away from this lesson. An exchange in general is a place where things can be exchanged. A limit order is written down in an order book and executed later, or maybe it's partly executed. A market order is executed immediately.